Germany. When people abroad picture Germany, their minds often leap to the same clichés: men in lederhosen hoisting beer steins, sausages sizzling on grills, stern faces that never smile, and gummy bears that promise both joy and indigestion. These stereotypes may raise a laugh, but they hide the far more complex, surprising, and fascinating reality of a nation that has shaped world history, science, art, and culture in ways few others ever have. Germany is not just another European country. It is the beating heart of the continent, a land that has witnessed empires rise and collapse, philosophies blossom, and revolutions of thought, music, and technology spread across the globe. Today, it is the engine of the European Union, the quiet giant that drives progress while carrying a past it will never forget. A land of borders and contradictions. Geography sets the stage for Germany's identity. Positioned in Central Europe, it touches more neighbors than any other European country except Russia, 9 in total. To the north, it stretches to the North and Baltic Seas, where winds sweep across tidal mudflats that vanish beneath the waves with every tide. To the south, the land swells into the Bavarian Alps, crowned by Zugspitze, Germany's tallest peak at nearly 3,000 meters. Between these extremes lies a patchwork of river valleys, rolling farmland, deep forests, and bustling cities. Its borders are riddled with peculiarities. The village of Bussingen im Hochrhein is a German island entirely surrounded by Switzerland. Parts of Lake Constance blur the line between the two countries so strangely that some areas technically belong to both. Even tiny islands in the north are shared with Poland. For centuries, boundaries shifted like sand in the wind, leaving behind a puzzle that only makes Germany's map more intriguing. Within its own borders, Germany is divided into 16 federal states, or Bundesländer. Each one is unique. Bavaria clings proudly to its Alpine traditions, Saxony and Thuringia carry scars and strengths from decades under Soviet rule, Rhineland pulses with Catholic carnival spirit, and northern states like Schleswig-Holstein share cultural roots with Denmark. Even the names can be misleading. Lower Saxony, for instance, sits geographically above Saxony itself. From tribes to empire. Germany's history is a saga of fragmentation and unification. The earliest chapters feature Germanic tribes resisting Roman legions. The famous Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in 9 AD halted Rome's expansion into the region and set the stage for a distinctive Germanic identity. Centuries later, Charlemagne forged the Carolingian Empire, a precursor to what would become the Holy Roman Empire, a patchwork of hundreds of kingdoms, bishoprics, duchies, and free cities. Despite its grand name, the empire was neither truly holy, nor Roman, nor centralized. For centuries, emperors struggled to hold together lands that valued independence above unity. Then came the Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the church door in Wittenberg, igniting a spiritual and political earthquake that split Europe between Catholic and Protestant faiths. Germany became a battlefield of belief, culminating in the devastating 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648, which wiped out a third of the population in some areas. Out of this chaos emerged new powers, the Habsburgs ruling Austria, and the Hohenzollerns ruling Brandenburg-Prussia. Prussia, disciplined and militarized, would become the driving force of German unification. Finally, in 1871, under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck, Germany became a single empire, a latecomer to nationhood but one determined to make its mark. Turmoil and transformation. That mark came swiftly. Unified Germany industrialized at lightning speed, building factories, railroads, and warships. It claimed colonies in Africa and the Pacific, though its empire was short-lived. Less known is that centuries earlier, a German banking family briefly held rights to parts of Venezuela, chasing myths of El Dorado. The 20th century brought storms. World War I ended the monarchy and left the nation humbled under the Treaty of Versailles. The fragile Weimar Republic struggled under economic crisis, paving the way for Hitler's rise and the horrors of the Nazi regime. World War II devastated not only Germany but much of the planet. The Holocaust left scars that continue to shape German identity. After 1945, the nation split in two, West Germany aligned with democracy and capitalism, while East Germany became a Soviet satellite, with walls and barbed wire cutting Berlin in half. The contrast was stark: modern skyscrapers and booming trade in the West, gray concrete blocks and surveillance in the East. Even today, reunified Germany still shows traces of that division in its economy, architecture, and attitudes. Culture of bread, beer, and beyond. To understand modern Germany, one must appreciate its cultural passions. Food is a central part of life. Over 300 varieties of bread make Germans the world's ultimate bakers, while more than 50 types of sausage reflect their devotion to pork. Meals like schnitzel, sauerbraten, and Schweinshax, roasted pork knuckle, are staples. Festivals overflow with regional specialties, from Bavarian pretzels to Black Forest cake. And then, of course, there is beer. Germany is home to around 1,300 breweries and 5,000 brands, brewed under the Reinheitsgebot, the centuries-old purity law that allows only water, hops, malt, and yeast. Monks began brewing as early as the 11th century, and some of their breweries, like Weihenstephan Abbeys, founded in 1040, are still running. Oktoberfest in Munich, now the largest beer festival in the world, attracts millions every year. Yet Germany is not only about hearty meals and pints. Its artistic legacy is staggering. Composers like Bach, Beethoven, and Wagner reshaped music forever. Poets and philosophers, Goethe, Schiller, Nietzsche, Kant, and Marx, reshaped how the world thinks. Scientists like Einstein, Planck, and Kepler unlocked the universe. Germany has given the world printing, the automobile, aspirin, the MP3 format, and countless innovations in engineering. The modern powerhouse. Today, with more than 82 million people, Germany is the most populous EU country and its economic powerhouse. Its GDP ranks among the top in the world, fueled by engineering, technology, and exports. Cars from Volkswagen, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche fill roads worldwide. Brands like Siemens, Bosch, Adidas, and DHL are global icons. But it is not only about money. Germany has committed itself to green energy, leading Europe in solar and wind power. It boasts tuition-free universities, a universal healthcare system, and a strong social safety net. The concept of the Sozialmarktwirtschaft, the social market economy, combines capitalist competition with welfare protections, a model that helped drive the post-war Wirtschaftswunder, or economic miracle, of the 1950s and 60s. Culturally, Germany is a land of contrasts. In the Rhineland, carnival celebrations explode in parades of color and music. In the north, people are famously reserved, closer in spirit to Scandinavians. Bavarians, meanwhile, embrace traditional costumes, alpine dances, and brass bands. Each state has its own dialect, sometimes so distinct that even other Germans struggle to understand. Religion has also shaped the land. Roughly 60% of Germans identify as Christians, split between Protestants and Catholics. The rest are largely secular, though communities of Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, and Hindus add to the country's diversity. Living with the past. One of the most striking aspects of German society is how it deals with its history. The concept of Vergangenheitsbewältigung, coming to terms with the past, permeates public life. Nationalism is approached with caution. Outside of soccer matches, flags are rare. Nazi symbols and Holocaust denial are outlawed, and education about the atrocities of the past is mandatory in schools. Many argue this constant reflection has made Germany one of the most stable and democratic countries in the world. Diplomacy and global ties. On the world stage, Germany excels at diplomacy. Its passport grants visa-free travel to more countries than almost any other. It maintains over 220 embassies and countless consulates, and it is a cornerstone of the European Union. Relations with neighbors are unusually close: Bavaria with Austria, Baden-Württemberg with Switzerland, Rhineland with France and Belgium, the North with Denmark and the Netherlands. The once hostile relationship with France has blossomed into a partnership so close it's often called the engine of the EU. Beyond Europe, Germany maintains strong ties with the United States, partly due to the Marshall Plan and the millions of Americans with German heritage. Its relationship with Turkey is also significant, as Turks form the largest minority in Germany. Historic links remain with Namibia, once a colony, where German is still spoken. In Asia, partnerships with India and South Korea reflect shared interests in technology and trade. A nation of contradictions. Germany today is a nation of contrasts: modern skyscrapers beside medieval cathedrals, Oktoberfest beer tents beside cutting-edge research labs, high-speed trains racing past fairy tale castles. It is a country that once nearly destroyed itself and yet rebuilt to become a model of stability. A land where efficiency coexists with creativity, and where innovation flourishes alongside centuries-old traditions. From the forests of the Brothers Grimm to the Autobahn's limitless stretches, from Bach's symphonies to Einstein's equations, Germany continues to shape the world. It is a country that remembers, rebuilds, and reinvents itself, again and again.